Hi everyone, I'm Iverson Lee from Joyup Consulting Group. This is a very special video here because this is what I want to commit myself here to do an educational series here called Best Life Ever. So there will be like a monthly episode here and where I'm going to share with you some very interesting contents about Chinese metaphysics, be it BaZi or be it Feng Shui or be it Qigong. And what the outcome of this so-called monthly episode series here is to do one thing, is to help everyone here to actually achieve extraordinary achievement and also to get the ultimate fulfillment as well. And all of this here, the way I structure the content actually are based on your feedbacks, right? So if you want to hear something, you like to hear something on the next episode, please drop a comment right down below here so we know what is really interests you. So since it's episode 1 here, I'm going to talk about a very important topic. Is what we call how do you ignite your happiness within. Right, I discovered that a lot of people keep asking a question, right? Why I don't get this, right? How come I cannot achieve the goal I want? How come I'm struggling? After I have a more deeper level conversation with them, all of them here, actually, they know exactly what to do to change their life. Yeah, the only problem here is they just don't do it. Yeah, so I take some time to actually realize this, that what people are capable to do is very simply incredible, it's amazing. But what people will do normally is disappointing. So the problem that a lot of us facing here is not about what to do and how to do, but is will you do it or not? Yeah, that is the part that prevents us from getting what we want. Yeah, so this is a topic I want to share with you. How do we use BaZi to help you to actually become someone that is not just a thinker, but is an executor as well. Yeah, since it's nothing to do with intelligence, because a lot of people also know what to do, right? In the end, it's about the will, right? So in Chinese metaphysics, if you're willing to do something or not willing to do something, it's got to do with the level of energy that you have right now. Do you think that a lot of things actually is not possible during the time when you're a kid? No, right? You always think that everything you want, you'll find your way to doing it, right? There are no justification involved. There are no but. Why? Because when you're a kid, your energy level is high. You don't know what is the word impossible mean. But as we grow older, then there's a lot of restriction, a lot of stories, right? Why we cannot do something, right? So that's for we would not here is to tell you to push you forward to train your discipline, but the way to help someone to take action here is to increase your energy level, right? So how do we do this? Because we have a lot of tools here, because I actually use BaZi, Feng Shui and Qigong. So in this episode, I will share with you some of the tools for you to know how do we manage the energy level. Because if your energy level is high, means that what? Let me show the graph here. So this chart here tell you that this is highest, this on the right hand side here is the highest energy level, and on the left hand side is lowest energy level. This, if you're lowest, you're hitting 0 here, this is a constant emotion that you are feeling all the time, right? So if your energy level hit from 8, 9 to 10, these are emotion that you're going to actually experience all the time, like joyful, happiness, right? Passion, creativity, all this is going to experience most of the time. So let me ask you, which side do you want to be in? Of course, high energy level, right? So how do we do this? How do we actually track this energy pattern in your BaZi chart? So right now, I would like to invite you to actually plot your chart right now. So if you haven't get your chart ready, so below here, right below the video here, there's a link here. All you need to do is just to type this URL and then you're there, right? Get the BaZi chart ready. Okay, all right, so now you already have your chart ready. Now I'm going to share with you what is your default energy level, right? Because all of us here, the reason you watch this video because you want to achieve certain goals in life. Be it financial goal here, being relationship, all of us will want different things, right? But as diverse as our needs are, but in the end, we truly actually want the same thing. Let me explain why. Whether it's money or relationship, in the end, we believe that by getting all these things here, we will feel good, we will feel happy. So in a BaZi study, these feel-good feeling here are represented by fire element. right? So some of you are very new to BaZi. Yeah, there are total of 5 elements. Yeah, let me name it right now. It's fire, water, earth, wood, and earth element. Yeah, there are 5 elements here. So the feel-good factor that a lot of people want, or happiness, right, is governed by fire element. Right? So now I think the moment you hear about this, I think the first thing you probably already looking in your chart right now to check, right, whether you have fire element or not. Right? So in BaZi study, yeah, so now since we are talking about ourselves, about who we are, our character, we always look at the natal chart. Yeah, so let me show you on the slide right now. Once you plot your BaZi chart, I already have highlighted in a red rectangle here. This is the area you should look for, yeah, whether there's a fire element or not. Right? So since fire represents happiness, don't you think this is a very important element in your chart? Okay, so within these boundaries here, so then you might ask, right, how do I know which one is a fire element? So let me show you on the screen. In BaZi study, fire element divided into 2. So the first one is Ping fire, or we call Yang fire, and the second one is called Ting fire, or we also call Yin fire. Yeah, it's just a name. Right? So I'm going to memorize just 2 characters. It's very easy, right? So just these 2 characters here. So once you memorize this, I want you to look back in your BaZi chart to see whether either of these elements exists in the chart or not. Remember the red rectangle and show here, only within these boundaries, I want to look for this. So now the exercise is very, very simple. You just want to know whether you have it or you don't. Maybe you have more than 1 fire element, right? It doesn't matter. So all you care right now, or all you need to do right now is just to know whether you have fire elements or you don't, right? Do it now. You just need to circle it, right? It's only these 2 characters. You want to locate this here. So let me show you one example here, one sample chart here. So if you look at this chart here, they have a fire element, right? So all the fire element is really circled in a red circle here. So which means that this person's chart have the fire element. Okay, so let's look at another chart. Okay, if you look at this chart here don't have any fire element, right? It doesn't have a Yang fire or Yin fire here. Therefore, we conclude that this chart here don't have any fire element. Okay, alright, so I know that some of you here, if you discover that you don't have a fire element, you might get worried right now. What does it mean, right? Don't worry, we'll get through that, but let's work with those who have fire element first, right? So this fire element could appear in different position in your BaZi chart, right? So if you look at your BaZi chart right now, there are year pillar, there are month pillar, there are day pillar, and there are also hour pillar, right? So since now you have fire element, let me give you one more advanced information here. You want to know where is this fire element resides in, right? There are only 4 pillars, right? Either top or bottom, doesn't matter. So I want you to check right now, is the fire element appear in the year, month, day, or hour, or maybe multiples of the pillars, right? So I want you to circle right now if you have the fire elements. If you don't, right, just wait. Yeah, just wait for a while. I'm going to get into for those who have missing fire element. So if you have the fire element right now, you already know, right, which pillar you have it. So let me tell you how to analyze this piece of information. So in BaZi, year pillar and month pillar, so let me show you, year and month pillar would be reside on external. Right, external means outside of your house, your work, your network, right, who you meet outside. So where else the day and the hour pillar represent internal, which means a relationship with yourself, your family member, or close relatives, or close friends. Okay, so let me summarize this. The year and month represent external, and then the day and hour represent the internal side. So now remember I asked you to circle your fire elements. I want you to check your chart here, where is this fire element resides? Yeah, let's say if your fire element resides in the year or the month only, either the year or the month, since it represents external, which means that your core of happiness actually is from external, which means that you feel happy, your source of happiness start with the friends you meet outside, or your reputation, or your performance at your work, that one will give you a lot of happiness. Yeah, by doing this piece of information, you know where to position yourself or where to start to activate this happiness element here. And another group of people here, your happiness element might actually resides on the day and hour, right? So if it resides on the day and hour, which means that your happiness, the source of happiness, come through within. Yeah, maybe how you see yourself, and also your relationship with your close family member. It could be your spouse, it could be your children. Work on that part first. A lot of people think happiness is about what I get, right? What I get, what I should receive, right? But in the end, the true secret of happiness is not what you get, it's what you give. Yeah? Think about this. Don't you think fire is giving light? Right? It's giving light to others, right? It's all about giving. Yeah? So the more you give, people feel the warmth, the more happier you are. Yeah? So therefore, if you want to use fire element as an element of happiness, it's about giving. So now, there are two fire elements here. One is yang fire on the screen, and then one is the yin fire, right? So if you learn BaZi, the yang fire represents the fire of the sun, right? So at the ting fire represents the fire of the candle. So if your chart solely are yang fire, and you actually want to increase more happiness, since yang fire represents the sun, right? The more to increase the brightness is true what? It's true to actually help more people. Right? So you give warmth to people, right? You're going to help others. It could be in financial or knowledge, or some form. It could be time, right? To help them to become better. That's the nature of yang fire. But if your chart is ting fire or the yin fire here, and you want to actually strengthen your happiness, increase your happiness, ting fire represent your candlelight, so represent inspiration. So your happiness actually comes from your action of inspire other. So therefore, you see a lot of great leaders that inspire other. They have a very strong yin fire or ting fire in the chart. All right, now we're going to go to the last part. Yes, I still remember you, right? Because some of you here, you don't have a fire element. Then you ask, right? Yeah, what's next? What is in for me? So now I'm going to talk about missing fire element. So if you don't have fire, let me ask you a question. Which element produce the fire element? Since you need the happiness is fire and it's missing, right? So which among the 5 elements that produce the fire element? The answer is the wood, right? The wood always produce fire. So now, remember we talk about element is about mindset and action, right? So we want to do action that related to the wood element, because we know that, right, the wood element will produce fire. Right? So now, what is the action that actually related to wood element? So wood, if you look at the wood nature, wood is the only element that constantly growing, right? Like a tree, like a plant, right? Where else the other of the element doesn't grow? So wood the only one. So wood element always relate to progress, represent growing yourself. So in summary, right, progress equal happiness. Right? If you want to be happy, so you need to make progress on a daily basis. So be it in your work or maybe in your relationship, make some form of progress. It could be just 1% of the progress, but you make this incrementally, and after a few months, you become better. And the moment you become better, you feel better about yourself. Therefore, you create happiness. If you want to become more happier than you were yesterday, become better. Learn something, do something, or learn a new skill. I think one of the part that the wood element also represent in terms of mindset, just now is action, is about progress, right? In mindset, wood element also represent gratitude, right? So, which means that if you are grateful, your suffering will disappear. So I want you to think about right now, what are the things you are most grateful for in your life right now? It could be someone you love that with you right now. It could be your job. It could be the place you are in right now. Or just simply by you're able to wake up every day and appreciate life by simply breathing, right? So the moment you focus on what you're grateful for in your life, suffering disappears. So if you are feeling grateful, remind yourself about what you have. You are actually using the wood element, because wood element represents gratitude. Okay, all right. So I hope you enjoyed the first episode of Best Life Ever series right now, and then on the next one, in a month from now, I'm going to release episode number 2. And in episode number 2, all right, depends on what you want to hear, but I have one topic I think that I'm very passionate to share about is how do you boost your peach blossom luck. right? So you want more attraction, right? So if you want to become more attractive and become a people magnet, stay tuned to episode 2 of Best Life Ever series. If some of you here interested to actually work with me on a coaching session where I'm going to guide you step by step to achieve your goal, so you just need to click the link as shown on the video below, and the moment you click the link, then the team here will get in touch with you and give you more information about our coaching series here. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to see you next month.